down the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk bloody to me.
Hi, welcome to an exciting St. Patrick's Day edition of Talk Bloody to Me. I am here today. I am Matt.
And I'm Brezzy, the leprechaun.
Yes, I'm
'Cause I'm
joined by
Irish.
the wee Irish lass,
Whee!
Breezy, with her leprechaun. That hat's almost bigger than you are. That's a
Yeah,
huge
I
hat.
know it's huge, but it fits me really well, though.
It does actually.
Yep. Mhm.
Well, top of the morning to you, even though it's 5:41 in the evening, and we're we're here today. Last year, one of our first episodes, I think it's episode number 4, was St. Patrick's Day. We talked about Leprechaun number 1. So today, this year, for St. Patrick's Day, we're going to talk about Leprechaun number 2, of course.
hmm
So,
But it's also very special, though, too.
because of a certain actor,
Yeah, because Warwick Davis is going to be at Crypticon in Minnesota.
yup, exactly.
So
And
that's
not
why it's
only
very special.
and not only that, but also another gentleman that's in this film is going to be at Crypticon, Tony Cox,
Oh,
who
really?
Yeah, he is the little guy dressed as a leprechaun that is in the restroom and gives them this pure milk chocolate with the big smile.
Oh, okay. So he's a number two.
Yep. So he's gonna be
Ah,
there too.
hmm.
So
I didn't realize that.
yep. So 2 Crypticon guests in this movie, 2 for the price of 1. It's Leprechaun 2.
Yep.
Here's my first question for you.
Hmm.
Does this movie have anything at all to do with Leprechaun 1?
Warwick Davis is in there, so does that
Right.
count?
Right, exactly. Now, is this the same leprechaun as Leprechaun 1, or is it a different leprechaun and just all the leprechauns look like Warwick Davis? Because that's kind of the impression I got, that this
Nah,
was a completely different leprechaun from the first leprechaun.
I'm pretty sure it's all leprechauns that are Warwick Davis because he
Yep.
was in the first one.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, this isn't really like a continuation of the story of Leprechaun 1. There's no Jennifer Aniston, unfortunately. No guy from Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Teen Wolf. But what we do have is
There's really like no connection. Well, I've seen all of them, but I don't really care for them. But there's really no connection between one and two.
hmm
So in two, they're in LA because he's looking for, no, he wants to look for a bride and wants to claim for a bride
yeah.
in LA.
There's a little prologue at the beginning, like 1,000 years in the past, and it's like medieval times, and this woman of his servant is going to be his bride, and she has to sneeze 3 times, and he has a little rhyme: sneezes once, and sneezes twice, and sneezes thrice, and all this bull crap. And so but if you say God bless you, that stops it. So she sneezes 3 times, but her dad says God bless you. So it prevents him from marrying, and he vows that someday in the future he will get his revenge and marry his descendant, her descendant, someone descendant, which brings us to the modern day LA, and it's leprechaun. Someone spills whiskey on a tree in Harry Houdini's house lot, and that brings the leprechaun to life.
Hey, whiskey, that's Irish. So,
Right? Exactly. There you
instead of
go.
beer, I mean,
Yeah. So we have our heroes, Cody and Bridget, played by nobody and some other lady. Her name is Siobhan Durkin. She looked really familiar, but I looked her up on IMDb and I didn't recognize her from anything. Maybe she was in like music videos or something. But anyway,
did
those
you
two.
did you did you pick up on somebody else in there? Because I
Uh,
have.
Lucy from Twin Peaks is part of the tour group,
No,
and Michael
guess
McDonald
again.
from Mad TV.
Well, yeah, that too, but guess again.
I'm all out of guesses.
Clint Howard was in there.
Oh my God, I missed Clint Howard.
Yeah, he was a tourist.
I completely miss. Yeah, at the very so the movie starts off after a little prologue. It's a haunted Hollywood tour, and they're going to drive a hearse around and go to Hollywood sites where this happened and where that happened, where Bela Lugosi saw this. And in the tour group is Lucy from Twin Peaks, the secretary, and apparently Clint Howard. I completely missed him. Damn it! And
Yeah, I didn't know he was in there until I was like looking up on like doing research on it. And yeah, I was like, Oh my God, I totally missed him. Oops.
So the owner of the hearse is too drunk to go, so the kids go instead. One of the sites, I think, is Harry Houdini's house. Somehow this leads to a bum going in there and spilling whiskey on the tree, which brings the leprechaun to life. And the descendant of the woman he's supposed to marry just so happens to be the girlfriend of the guy driving the hearse. What are the odds? How, what
Yep.
so one thing I like better about I'll be honest with you, I don't like the Leprechaun movies at all. Full
Yeah.
full disclosure, Leprechaun 1 might be my least favorite movie that we've talked about on the entire podcast. Even worse than Ghoulies, even worse than stop motion. Leprechaun,
What?
yeah, I just don't like Leprechaun 1.
So you don't so you don't like oh man, I'd
So,
rather watch Leprechaun over stop motion any day.
yeah, well, Warwick Davis. I do like Warwick Davis. It's
Yeah,
nothing against him, nothing against the actors, but
it's
the
just the movie
one-liners and the
itself.
yeah, but I like this one a little better. There's no Lucky Charms references, thankfully. Um, but one of the first things the leprechaun does is someone on the street mistakes him for a little actor doing he's got like a stick and he's like you go like point me towards my bride do 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 and
Yep.
someone thinks he's like a street performer so he throws a quarter at him and he's like quarter I want gold and the guy's like that's cute he's like I'm an agent here's my card he holds out his card he's got a big gold ring so the leprechaun rips the whole finger right off and takes the ring off and the guy's like ah. And then he licks the blood off the finger and he says finger licking good.
Yeah. And when you said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, now I don't want to go to for KFC ever again because it's like finger licking good. I'm like, no, was it KFC?
Yeah, that was
What? Yeah,
KFC.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a long time, so
At least he didn't
sorry.
go. At least he didn't go. Ba 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 ba. I'm loving it.
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
um. So the guy that woke him up, the homeless guy that was drunk, had a gold tooth, and the leprechaun ripped the gold tooth right out of his head. And then he was at the police station talking about how a little man attacked him and took the gold tooth out of his head. At the same exact time, the guy driving the hearse is there picking up his owner of the hearse and overhears it. What are the odds?
Yeah,
What are the odds that this would happen? Um, and then there's another guy that's trying to steal the girl. She's mad at Cody because he ditched their date to drive the hearse because the other guy was too drunk. So she hangs out with a different guy, and then they get done with their date, and he's all like, "How about I come inside?" And she's like, "Whoa, slow your roll there, Chief." And he's like, "Hey, but I bought you a hot dog." And she's like, "Yeah, you can hold on to your hot dog." This isn't the actual dialogue. I'm just freeballing here. So,
I
but
kind of
anyway,
figured.
yeah she says go home. He leaves, but then she's back and she's like, "I'm sorry, I changed my mind. Come in here." And she's like, "Come over here. I got something to show you." And then she's topless, and he's all like, "Ooh," and she's like, "Come on in." And
Yeah, and he looks at her boobs and he goes closer and closer and closer. And Leprechaun's actually made like doing like a little prank. He gets a little closer. All of a sudden, they're like big, huge fans.
yeah,
Like
I
fans.
think it's a lawnmower. I think it's like a two-bladed lawnmower that's like up on its back like that.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
So he goes to get a nice face full of fun and instead gets a lawnmower to the face. And that's a pretty wicked kill. They don't show it too graphically, but just the idea of it is
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that idea. Yes.
That was a definite high point of the movie.
Well, yeah, because you probably like boobs because you're a guy.
Well, that too, but also it was a clever kill.
It is a clever kill.
That's how the leprechaun would get me. But
Yep.
um so moving on, what else happens in this movie? Eventually they figure out they're fighting a leprechaun.
Yeah, and that old guy. This is actually my favorite part of the movie, of the whole movie, is this old guy was like laying on the ground and his stomach was going bigger and bigger and bigger. So I was like watching, I'm like, oh my God, is there gonna be another leprechaun gonna pop out of that belly? And it was like a pot of gold I
Hmm.
was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like it. I think it's because it's growing, and it's like all of a sudden it splits open. It's like a little gift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they figure out that the leprechaun, they read a book about leprechauns and they figure out it's weak against iron. So they manage to trick it from going into a dog door into an iron safe and they lock it up. And so they're like, we got it trapped now, problem solved. But then the old owner of the hearse locks the young guy in the next room because he wants to get three wishes because he heard that if you catch a leprechaun, you get three wishes. And so the first thing he wishes for is the leprechaun's pot of gold. Well, he gets it in his stomach.
Yeah.
And as Breezy described, you get to see it slowly grow and grow and grow, and his gut gets all bloated and distended, and it's really kind of a
Yeah.
weird body horror thing. And he's all like, ah, ah, and the leprechaun's, do you wish me to stop it? He's like, yes, I wish it, I wish it. And then the leprechaun comes over, sticks his hand and
Hmm.
pulls the
I
gold
don't know
out.
why I like that scene.
Yeah,
I just don't. I like that one though. Out
that
of
was
the whole movie, that's like my favorite one.
yeah, that was a pretty good scene. I think before that they go to a bar and it's St. Patrick's Day and every single little person in the city they live in dressed up as a leprechaun and went to this bar. So there's like a whole ton of little people. And so he's and dressed as leprechauns and he's in the restroom and he's taking a leak and then all of a sudden he sees a leprechaun. He's like, "Oh my God!" But not to worry, it's just our friend Tony Cox handing out gold chocolate coins with a big friendly smile. And so he takes one. Well, then later on, he figures out that the leprechaun, because he had, when the leprechaun took the girl, he dropped one of the gold coins. The guy got it. Leprechaun
Yep.
kidnaps the girl. Did we mention that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So they now
Yep.
he's got to go rescue her. So he figures out the leprechaun can't hurt him because he has the gold coin. So no matter what the leprechaun does, he's immune. Basically, the leprechaun tries to run him over with a leprechaun go kart. I feel like that was in the first one, or wasn't there a go kart in the first one? Anyway, but this is like his Mario
I don't know.
Leprechaun Mario Kart, like it's all decked out with like fangs and stuff.
Dude,
But
I like that too. I like the go-kart. And
yeah,
not the killing scene. I just like the go-kart itself, how they put fangs in there. I'm like, if I
yeah,
had a go-kart, oh hell yeah, I will put fangs on there. I'm like, watch it.
yeah,
Here I come with fangs.
yeah. I would love to see that at Crypticon. Have Warwick Davis drive around in that.
Yeah.
That would be
That'd be
awesome.
really cool if somebody would do that.
Yep,
Fans, you better do that.
yep.
If anybody had a go-kart, put fangs on it.
Watch Leprechaun 2, paint it green, put fangs on it, bring it to
Yeah,
Crypticon.
dude. Yeah.
You're gonna be a superstar. Um, so the Leprechaun's hideout is at Harry Houdini's house. It's all tricky and magical, and um,
Sorry, a bird just threw to
I
my
saw, I
window
was
and
like,
scared
"What
the shit
happened? Was
out
that
of
the
me.
Leprechaun?"
No,
I
no,
saw you jump.
a bird, a bird went in my window. I'm like,
It was
not the
Leprechaun
leprechaun.
magic. The Leprechaun's trying to
Sorry.
get to you.
That's what happened. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. So he goes there to save the girl. She tried to trick the leprechaun. She found his hidden stash of treasure. She had a sharp thing she was going to jab him with, but it just bent because it wasn't iron. And they get him with the iron rod. And um, yeah,
Yeah, there's not much to it.
they show they show the leprechaun like die and like evaporate into the ground, like, and it kind of lingers there and you kind of almost expect he's going to come back for like one last thing, and then they show the guy and the girl and they like walk down the steps and then they like kiss, and it like totally seems like there's going to be like a whole other scene yet, like they're going to go a little bit further down the steps and the
Yep.
leprechaun's going to come back and there's like 10-15 minutes yet of the movie. No, it just stops, just they kiss and done, credits,
Yep.
boom, Leprechaun 2, we're out of money, hope you liked it.
Yeah, that was kind of like an odd, really odd, awkward ending to
I
it.
I literally had to rewind it to see if I missed something because I like looked away for a second and all of a sudden I looked back and the credits were going and I was like, wait, what just happened? So
Yeah, it happens.
yup, exactly. So and that pretty much is Leprechaun 2.
Dude, I apparently Samantha Davis, which is a Warnick's Davis wife. Apparently, she was in the movie too.
Oh yeah. Yep, I'm looking at IMDb right now, and yep, Clint Howard is a tourist. Anyone else? Michael
Samantha
McDonald.
Davis,
Yep, we might. Oh yes, Samantha Davis as bar patron, uncredited. Um,
uncredited.
yep, that means she wasn't in the credits. What a rip.
How
Michael
rude.
McDonald, if you may know from Mad TV, he's the one that goes, "Look what I can do! Look what I can do!" Stewart, I think, is the character, but he's in it as what was he like a waiter? Oh, he was like the bartender after the bar was closed. And he was trying to kick the leprechaun out, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a neat outfit," and then the
Hmm.
leprechaun murders him, severe murder. So there you have it, Leprechaun 2. So you wee lass, what would you rate Leprechaun 2 with my horrible Irish accent?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh, I do like this one a little bit more than the first one. I will give, I think I rate the first one as maybe one, I think. So I'll give
Hmm.
this one like a three or
Oh,
four.
okay. I don't remember what I gave the first one, but if it wasn't a one, I want to go back and change it to a one because I, like I said earlier, I hated it. This one, I'm gonna give it a three. I'm gonna give it a two because I liked it better. I liked the lawnmower scene. I thought the story made a little more sense than the first one, and then
Mm, yep,
my long standing tradition of a bonus point for Clint Howard, so that brings it up to three.
yep.
So Leprechaun 2, 3. Any,
Hopefully it will jump back up on like next year's St. Patrick's Day because we got to do number three.
yeah, I
I think
haven't.
they're in space.
No, that's part four because unfortunately I have seen that one, and
Oh,
that one is absolute. That one is going to be negative. That I like that one even less than Leprechaun 1. I've seen it already, and I know for a fact I hate it.
well, Matt, we got to redo it. So sorry.
Leprechaun 4, honest to God, is one of my least favorite movies of all time that I have ever seen in my entire life. So, in two
Well,
years, I get to see it again.
yeah.
Yep.
Me and you would talk about it.
Exactly. But first, I get to find out what Leprechaun 3 is all about.
Right, right.
Exactly. So, all right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following and for sharing. We love it when people share us on social media, and we love it when people follow, and we love it when people tell their friends and encourage others to listen. And thank you so much. We'll be back next week.
And and happy St. Patrick's Day. Please be safe.
Yes,
I
please be
hope you're
safe.
feeling lucky.